Okay.
Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunadhaya Nathaya Sitaya Pate Namaha Charitam Raghunadhasya Satakoti Pravistaram Ekaikamaksharam Proktam Mahapataka Friends, there is long time Chandrasekhar Mahodaya was after me to give some introduction to YogaVaasistam. He came to my house a couple of times when I was reading that book. So he got interested and said he should give at least some introduction for us. And so I thought, and also since we are doing the Samkshipta Ramayana, and my brother is talking more about the inside of the Ramayana also, there is one aspect of Rama's evolution, if you want to call, as a person, as a human being, that is missing in the Ramayana and was left out by Valmiki specifically. And it happens when he was very young. It's just in the Balakanda itself, before his 16th birthday. So this is something which is has got a lot of importance for philosophy. And so we thought, myself and my brother, we thought about it. So maybe it's appropriate to talk about a little bit about introduction to that. Since I am no good in Sanskrit, I'm not going to say any word about that, but I will give you some introduction to what this is called the YogaVaasistam or Vasishtha Ramayanam. Sometimes they also call Vasishtha Gita. Several names are there for this particular work. Work-wise, this is one of the largest collections on philosophy we have. It's about 32,000 slokas. It's even bigger than Mahabharata and Ramayana. So sometimes that's why it is also called Maharamayana. There is another word also used for it. And the author happens to be the same person, Valmiki. Valmiki has written this. And a lot of commentators gave the meaning. Why is it that in Ramayana there wasn't even a simple mention of this incident in the life of Rama? But when it is presented in YogaVaasistam, it is such a huge text. And that's a comment. One of the comments is that it was left out by Valmiki purposefully because it comes in the Balakanda area to teach about the highest philosophy when he was only about 14, 15 years old, and which the YogaVaasistam deals with. Perhaps the Valmiki thought it's not appropriate for the story part of Rama. So there are so many things you need to talk about Ramas. So this word will overpower the whole narration. So he just didn't do it all. He just brushed it off and said he's going to take care of it later on as a separate word. So that's one of the reasons most of the commentators think why Valmiki left. Because Valmiki himself doesn't come and tell us why he left it. But they must have found some indications of his works, why it is done like that. So it's an interesting one, and as I said, it's mostly philosophical. And it has a great parallel to Bhagavad Gita. So that's why it's important so much. And a lot of us know how Krishna and Arjuna, the dialogue between them on the battlefield, and how Arjuna became so despondent, fully dejected. He's not able to take his Gandiva. He leaves everything off and says, I am not going to fight this war, as you all know. That is the start of Gita, Upadesham for Arjuna from Krishna. So that's only about 700 slokas, but it shows that how accomplished you may be in life and how great you may be. There are incidents in life everybody gets dissected, or something like a depression, if you want to call it normal terminology. But this is not a real depression for them. It is more a dialogue to become something bigger for them. So it happens in life. And you know many of them like that. And in other words, a little more contemporary perhaps is Buddha. He is a prince and he goes around the country, see the suffering of the people, suddenly gives up his kingdom and then becomes a bhikshu. And so you know the story of Buddha, like that. So Arjuna in the battlefield, he is all prepared to go and fight it on. And he told the Krishna to put the chariot in between the two forces, just to see that he can take a bow with his teachers before he starts the war, take their permission. But then suddenly he becomes, why am I killing all these people? These are all my people. His problem was moha. Suddenly he is overpowered by moha. My kith and kin, I'm going to kill them. They all taught me how to become a man, and here are the gurus, and so on and so forth. And everybody is a Kaurava family, so everybody is related to others. It's only fight between the offspring of the two brothers. So that's why he gets completely disoriented and he was about to leave the battle. That's when Krishna comes up and says, okay, that is now his job. So here, Arjuna is the Nara, the man aspect, it's called Nara. So there is also a Nara-Narayana avataram too in Bhagavatam. But Narayana is a Krishna there. Krishna avataram is such that he really never thought he is anything other than Vishnu himself. He knew what he is doing. Unlike Rama, who wants to be like a man and behave like a man. And whether it is true or not, we don't know. But if you take Vyasa Ramayana, then he says that he knows also that he is also a Vishnu avatar, came for a purpose. But if you take Valmiki or Tulsidas, there is no mention of Rama any time ascertaining himself to be a god or a god Amsa. So that's the background. So here also Rama has a similar dissection coming in when he was young. And that's where Vasishtha comes in. Vasishtha is the Kula Guru for all of them. And he comes in picture. And the dialogue between Rama and Vasishtha in simple terms is what is given in the YogaVaasistam. So that's the main context of it. So let's see what the context, where did it all come up? Why it happened? What is his source of his dissection? If you take the life of Dasharatha, you know that these 4 children are born very late. So he does the yaga, and then how he is blessed to get the children with the 3 of his wives, 4 children. So they were growing up as good children, and at the right age, they were all given the Upanayana and sent to Vasishtha for the learning. And they finished the schooling with Vasishtha also, and completed by about 12th year or something, and then they come back home. And at home, everything is there for them, and When you have the parents who are elderly, they have the maximum love for the children because they miss them. When you are young and you got children, there is a problem of misunderstandings. Here, there is nothing like that. When you got above 40, if you get a child, it's precious, and you give all your attention, whatever you need to give them. So they got everything, and also they are princes. So all things together, they are having a good time playing and fooling around and all that, going around and learning more the Rajaniti from their father, all that. So then after a few days, a few years, I think around 15, the YogaVaasistam says 15th year or something like that. So Rama says he wants to have that, he has already got the urge to learn more practically in the life. So he asked father to give permission to go on a Tirtha Yatra. What, a 12-year-old guy asked him to go for a Tirtha Yatra? Vasishtha feels, Dasratha feels, said, what's wrong with this kid? I know him very well, he loves him very much. But, so he goes to Vasishtha and asks him, hey, this guy asked me to go for Tirtha Yatra, is it appropriate and what do you need? All these rishis, Vasishtha, Mitra, all these are all rishis, they can see what is the future. They're not like other teachers. They know exactly who Rama is, for example, from their own Divya Drusti, they call it. So they can see what the purpose he came and all that. So, but he is also watching him grow up. So when the time comes, and he asks like this, he said, yeah, the time has come for him to evolve a little more, get out of the childhood. So he understands what the problem is, and he suggests, okay, why don't you send all the children, 4 of them, let them go around the country and come back. So they choose all these Rishi ashramas, the big ones. In those days, still it's the Rishi cult which is there. So wherever you go. And then a lot of kshetras, Tirtha Yatras, and all the rivers and all that. In India, you don't have any depth for them. One of the reasons why these kshetras are also done, their importance was given so much in Puranas and all that, is for even a common man to go there and learn from others, interact with the people who come there. They are not even familiar to you, then suddenly you develop a friendship and talk to them and what is their life, how did they come here and why I came, it goes on and on. So Tirtha Yatras are meant for real developing the Satsangatyam or something like that, and ideas. What's the purpose of life? These questions, everybody has got them right from childhood. So see how they are behaving and so on. So it's a wonderful experience. So all 4 of them go around the whole country and come back and start again their normal princely duties. But Rama was withdrawing himself from the activities, daily activities and all that. He's come to a stage where he's not even doing his sannyavandana, or he's getting to the stage where there is a concern, and but he's not also eating properly. He's not. So all kinds of children grow up. We have seen our own children sometimes behave odd at that age, and it's a part of growing up. So if you and I were there, what we'll do is say, oh, come on, you stupid, it is not the way, go there and just divert him off. Don't even ask him what is his problem. That's a normal way we make the children grow up. But if you are more concerned, they might ask them more questions. But anyway, he's pretty much emaciated also. He's not growing up, and the health is getting worse or whatever. And, so that's the state in which he is. And I can roll out a couple of stanzas from YogaVaasistam, see what kind of dissection it is. So now you can see the parallel between Arjuna But Arjuna's got dissection came when he was already a very grown-up guy. He is already a hero. He is the top notch for fighting in the Pandavas. They look upon him, and the whole world is looking upon him to take care of, because before that he even went and fought with Lord Shiva and got his Pasupatastra and all that from him, and some things like that. But so there is even for at that stage also it can come. This dissection can come at any time, and this is what the lesson we can take it from there. So in his case, this is the 50th year, and this is what happened. So what made him to do? He just saw the life going on, and everybody is becoming old, and then you see old people, young people. Young people are all looking for some life, and old people, how the hell do I finish this day and go to the tomorrow? So they see all that, and he is perplexed with the whole. Then thought comes in: what is the purpose of life? Who am I? What is my role here? Is it that? What is meant by sukham? What is this happiness? Is being a prince and enjoying all these things, or is this sukham or something like that? So those questions will all come. And he is being a godly person naturally. Then the questions rise in such a way, he also sees the answers in them. It's not like me getting a question. He said, hey, what is the purpose of life? Let's go and ask somebody else who knows about it. So these evolved persons already, this is where we need to, this is an example to remember, that's all I'm saying. We all come with some baggage, good or bad. So that you have to accept it. Otherwise, if you don't accept it, then of course you can't talk much about Hindu philosophy. So we all come with some baggage. And if the evolved people come with the baggage, as Bhagavad Gita also narrates at some point, they take because they have not finished the job of evolving to the fully matured person, or Mumukshatva has not come to them. So but what all you have done good deeds in the past life, they don't go waste. Then Bhagavad Gita says, then you will be born into a house where people are already in that position, and you will be able to finish your next part of evolution, whatever you need to do, and achieve whatever you can do it. So that's what the karma philosophy we believe in. We all come with it. So if Mahavishnu comes to earth to do some job, what is the baggage he carries? He's a Satchidananda. He knows he is full of knowledge, full of jnana already. He's not like an ordinary person. So when he gets these questions, his questioning itself has answers in them. Just like what is that 7:30 show on ABC? You have to answer him by asking a question.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Like that, It's like they already have the answers in them. Then you have to ask the question. That's all they are. But anyway, so the dissection part is common for all. That's what I want to tell you. And the reason why for him it came is because he saw that's a kingdom he is going to inherit, and he is going to be the king. So he wanted to know what is the purpose of the kingdom, what am I doing, all this stuff. So then you see if you just give you an idea of the parallel between the two, the Bhagavad Gita and this, I'll just give you a couple of slokas from the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. This is called the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. And then the last one is where he has completely evolved man, he's ready to fight. So you see the difference between the two. First one is Nakanche Vijayam Krishna Nacharajyam Sukhanicha Kinno Rajyena Govinda Kim Bhogai Jivitena Va. This is the first chapter, 32 sloka in Bhagavad Gita. So he says, what is the purpose? Why am I fighting this war? Kim no Rajyena Govinda. Kim Bhogai. What's the use of? You're all Sanskrit people, you can understand this better than me. That's the first line. And then after 18 chapters, 700 slokas, close to it, and in the 18th chapter, 73, almost the end of Gita, says, same Arjuna says, Nasto moha smritir laptva tvat prasadad mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I have finished, I learned all of it, what is to be learned, and I am ready. You tell me what you need to do, what I should do, and go. You are my guru and I am your sister. Sishyasya says. So like that, that means the end of it comes to that. And surprisingly, or not, that is done by Vedavyasa, right? Bhagavad Gita and all that. But here is Valmiki, the first chapter, to tell about the YogaVaasistam, which is Vairagya Prakaranam. This is the first one. It starts with that, just like how Gita starts with Arjuna Vishada Yoga, here it starts with Vairagya Prakaranam. Vairagya is Vairagya of Rama. See, as I told you, the Maharshi, when the baggage is already matured, the big baggage, so your questions himself will be like answers. That's what Rama does. We will come to that, what the context it is done. But just to give you that two slokas, I'm not going to give the meaning and all that, you all know it very well. He says, see the words again the same way. Kim me rajyena kim bhogaihi koham kimedamagatvam yan mithyehi vastu mithyeva astu tan mithya kasya nama kimagatam. That's what this sloka which Rama says to the audience. I'll tell you about the audience where it happened shortly. And, so that's how he starts off his rejection. And then he goes to the end, and he goes and said that is called the Nirvana Shatkam, which is the last one. First one is Vairagya Shatkam, last one is Nirvana Shatkam. At the end of it he says, Nasto mohaha padam praptam tvat prasadan Ishvara Munishvara tatvadan Munishvara Sampannoham aham Satyamatjastama vadatadi Stitosmi gata sandeha svabhave brahmarupini niravarana vijnanaha karishye vachanandava. See how? Same. Said, Nasto mohaha is all gone. Now I will do whatever is appropriate in his case. So this is what if you want to get a full picture of what the two texts are, those two will give you an idea of what is coming. Okay, let's go back to the story-wise, where did it happen and how did it happen. So that particular incident I told you is where the Rama is dissected at that age. Then, of course, Dasharatha was asking him pointedly now and then. He said, hey, what's the problem with you? Is there anything I can do for you? And it seems something is bothering you. Oh, nothing, Dad, Mr. Everything is fine, as usual. Children never will tell you what their problem is, because in our case, the children don't tell you because they are afraid of. And in their case, perhaps the children, they are not afraid of, but they may not like to share. They would like to solve their problem before they go. This is called the inverted persons. Some of them are like that. And extrovert and introvert, you know the difference. So they're all introverts, most of them, the doers. They don't talk too much about it and ask somebody else help and all that. Extroverts always ask. So this one is interesting in that sense. At that point, what happens is very big incident happens in the life of Rama there. The Vishwamitra shows up suddenly without announcing. You know, Vishwamitra is again, he's a Rajarshi. He's not a Brahmarshi, but he's a Rajarshi actually. He's a king again in his own right. And he won all the wars and all that. He has got all the astras and everything in his command. He suddenly shows up at Dasharatha's court and declares that he needs help. He said he is doing some yajna in the forest. Of course, then all these Rakshasas were coming and spoiling his yajna. So it looks paradoxical. Such a great man who has got all the astras and all that, everything in his hand, why would he go to Dasharatha to ask for help? It doesn't make sense, right? But then the Valmiki says, the reason is, when you're taken a vow to do the yajna, at least during that period, he cannot ascertain his powers. He cannot do a sapa, for example. He cannot send a curse to the guy. I mean, he could have stopped them, by his own powers. Vishwamitra, you know what his powers are? Somebody wanted at one time, in human form, he wanted to go to the Swargaloka. And he said, okay, I will get you there, don't worry. And he tries, of course, he can't succeed. So you get a Trishanku. The word Trishanku, you might have heard the stories. So he goes up to Trishanku and says, don't worry about it, I'll create a Swargam for you right in between. So he's hanging in these threads in between the earth and the heaven, somewhere in between. So like that, he is a great powerful man, and he could have solved his problem of using yoga, but he cannot. Once he takes the vow to finish the yoga, he can do that. So he said, I needed some help, and asked Dasharatha, the right persons to do this is your two sons, Rama and Lakshmana. And of course, before that, when he says help, Dasharatha already committed. Sir, you want to give me my kingdom, I'll pretend to give it to you. So Vishwamitra, when he's small, you do anything less than what he thinks he needs to get done, he will have a big curse. Supposedly, curses are all at his top of his mind. As stories go, I don't know, I have not seen him, so I can't tell. So Vishwamitra is, they're all afraid, all the kings are afraid of him. So he said, what is that I can do? I am at your service. The whole kingdom is at your service. You just tell me. Once he said, okay, now I got the blessings from the king. So he doesn't mince words, he just immediately tells, this is my purpose. These Rakshasas are giving hard time for my yajna, and I need the help of your two sons, the Rama and Lakshmana, and they can take care of this guy very easily. So I said, okay, that's a deal. And suddenly, Dasharatha is so attached to Rama especially. And so if you got a child born after so many years of not getting children and then doing tapas and all that, whatever yagas and all that, and then, so he's, even otherwise he's somehow, that's a separate thing you might have seen in Balakanda, how much he's attached to the children and all that. So we'll not go there. So he said, these are children, they can't do anything for you. But can I come and do all the war for all the fighting for you? I can take care of everybody, you know that. The whole army is with me. I'll put them at your service, no problem, we'll take care of it. And only if it is a fight with Ravana, then don't ask me, because Ravana you cannot fight. So he says this right away also. But except Ravana, if anybody else, Rakshasa, is giving you problem, taken care of. I will come with my army and all that. He says, no, I only need these guys. So they can do the job, you don't need me. So then he's in a big problem. So he goes to again Vasishtha, and Vasishtha tells him, sir, you gave a word that you'll do anything for him. If he asks you something, you have to do it. And there is a purpose why he is asking them. you know him, you know Vishwamitra, all got all his, astras and shastras and all this stuff. He is going to teach them. He is not going to just let them come and fight just without any arms and all. He is going to first teach them how to take care of themselves, and he knows that he is like his own children. So don't worry about it. He has a purpose, and that's why he came here. And please send them all. So that's what. So Dasharatha has no option to send him. So then he sends the Chamberlain to go and get the Rama and Lakshmana. And he goes there and asks him, please, your father is asking you to come and do all that. And he says one time, yeah, I'll come. Like children. He says, oh, I'm busy now, I'm not going to come. Another time. So he argues with him and all that, but he's not moving. Basically, he didn't move. Although Dasharatha asked him to come to the court. So this fellow Chamberlain goes back to the king and says, sir, he's not saying anything he's going to come or not. But I don't know, he's not of late behaving like this, but we can't tell you. So then he said, tell me what is his problem, what did you observe there? So that guy keeps telling, this is what we observed. He doesn't eat, he doesn't do this, he doesn't go to the play, he doesn't entertain these girls who come dance and all that. He doesn't come to any function, nothing. All that is emaciated, doesn't look good. Something you have to do with the children, with him. That's what he tells in the court. And that court who are there already, Vasishtha is already there, Vishwamitra is already there, because he came for asking for the help of these two guys. So then Vishwamitra says, don't worry, bring him, we will take care of him. So he understood the whole problem. And Vasishtha tells the Chamberlain, we'll go and get him anyway, tell him that, wait for him if he is doing something, but bring him. And so he goes, he tries to go there, but in the meantime himself Rama comes, even without his going back. That's all described in this particular work, so I'm not going to go through that. So when he goes and before the Chamberlain goes there, he comes, he's already coming in. So when he comes, he's all, as usual, bows down to the Guru, the Pita Mahan, everybody else, all the rishis, whoever is there, big people and all that. So what can I do, Father? So that's how it starts off. And then he saw Vishwamitra saw his condition, that dejected face and emaciated and all that. So he asked him, what is bothering you? That is, can we help you? The sister and me together when we should be able to solve your problem. Please be straightforward and tell us what's on your mind. And of course that dialogue goes on anyway, so I don't want to go there again. But at that time he starts off telling all his problems of the world, what he has seen, and what is the purpose, why am I doing this, why all these sukhas of the kingdom and all that for me and all that. So he narrates a few more slokas. A typical of them I'll give you before I go. Achetana iva janaha pavanaihi prananam avihi dhvanantaha samstitat vyartha yatha kichaka venavaha. People are just living as if they're all some machines, like robots. They just pranayam, they're taking the air in and they are doing whatever needs to be done, and so there doesn't seem to be any purpose which is going on, but they are just living. And then he gives, of course, Valmiki again, of course, if you read this, any portions of that you will enjoy if you enjoyed the Ramayana, because he does the same thing. Valmiki doesn't go with any line without iva, means like. an example, right away comes. I would say he's an Yuva Kavi. So it always has to go. The second one is, what is that? Khichakavenavaha, something like this. If you take a bamboo, which is split already, it's standing in the air, and when the air blows off, you get a beautiful sound, the music, Venava. So like that, people are living like that. They are singing, they are talking, they are doing something, but there's no, I don't see any purpose what they are doing. Then it continues like that. I mean, it goes for 29 sargas, so don't tell me that. I can't do anything justice for you. It says, Bharo Vivekanaha Shastram, Bharo Jnanam cha Raginaha, Asantasya Manobharo, Bharo Natma Vido Vapuhu. You understand a little bit, I don't need to go through. It says for people, Asantasya, you are a little disturbed, even the mind becomes a big weight on your head. And Bharo Atma Vido Vapu. So like that, everything becomes a burden, big burden for small things if you are not the right person doing that. So that's the meaning of it. Even Shastram becomes a big burden if you're just only doing for Shastra's sake without understanding the meaning of them. And similarly, the, Bharo Jnanam, Ragina, if you are attached or if you are desireful, then Jnanam also becomes a big problem, big headache, big conflict. So like that, he goes on and on and on, in several cantos, almost about 28. So that's all the Vairagya Prakarana. But the meaning of some of the questions are such, you can see as I told you, the answer in them itself. So that aspect of it, without going through the other stanzas, short of time, still take away time from your Ramayana, real master. What happens is the Vishwamitra and Vasishtha, they understand the whole problem. He has completely gone through this phase to understand what the world is already and what is the purpose of life and all. But he's asking you in terms of the questions. It means he's teaching these people what should be done rather than asking any questions but in a question form, because he's still an anger guy. So they understand that. Then Vishwamitra says, oh, this is not the ordinary depression which we normally see with the kids. He is a jnani already. But there is a problem for all of them. And they do the internal. If you start reading, suppose you want to understand the Advaita Vedanta, just take an example. Now, you can read all the books, because everything is available. And nowadays it is available in your palm also, not for me. But you go to Google, you can get anything you want, any Veda or anything you want. So you can read, you can do it. And you can perhaps understood everything also. But there is a problem. It is experiential phenomena. The God is only experiential. There is nothing to... It's like what we say is, we try to understand things from unknown to the known, if you want to say in simple terms. We know something, the other way around, from known to the unknown. So I know this much, now I want to know the next step. So you all learned a lot of Sanskrit and said, oh yeah, I want to know what Shastri tells about, Sanchipta Ramayana, you all come, something like that. That means you are not understood so well perhaps, but you want to know something. So this is how we process information. Even scientists also do the same. We know so much, but let me see one more step and ask myself, challenge myself to understand the next step. So this is from what we call it as known to the unknown. That is a normal process. So then, when I say that, you can easily, somebody can challenge me right away. If it is unknown, why the hell do you want to know unknown? Right? If you know something, but I said, to the unknown, I said, why do you want to go up to the unknown and know it? You know, whatever you know, is be happy. So that's where the unknown is nothing but God, really. God cannot be known. You can do anything you want. If any Swamiji can come and tell you, I will show you God, he can show you nothing. But God is experiential. He's there. But you have to experience yourself. You can't see God. You can read all about it, but ultimately you have to experience himself. That's why it's an experiential thing, not a knowledge-based one. Knowledge is needed. So at the last stage, in fact, even the knowledge also you have to throw it off when you want to become one with the God. Anyway, so that's a high philosophy, but we are not going there. This is the problem of here, from the known to the unknown is the real way we all process the information. Here, the problem is, though, why I'm telling you that is that in order to go to that last step, you need a confirmation from somebody else. You need not be a higher learned person than you, or you cannot be any. In fact, a lot of gurus tell us that they take ordinary beings also as their gurus. There's another, I don't want to go in there, but it's even a fish can teach you what is the highest philosophy, or a lady, or little. So it goes on. I got another suktam where they tell you about 24 of the gurus. He calls himself all gurus. They are nothing but the ordinary things which you see them. So he learned something from them, each one. So confirmation is the most important thing after learning. So that comes from a guru. So here was why I'm telling all that is, Vishwamitra says he is already a jnani, but he needs some confirmation. And then he says the confirmation can come from an evolved person. And then he says, so Rama asks him question. This is all dialogue. That's what we like most of in these scriptures. They're all in beautiful dialogues. Rama says, sir, how did you say confirmation? Who is the person who can do that? And then he immediately tells, I'll tell you a story. So this is how the YogaVaasistam is full of stories. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you can get lost. So people don't read them. They said, maybe it's something which we can do, so forget about it. It's easy path. So this one is, he says, and I'll tell you a story. He starts with the story of Janaka and Sukha. Sukha is already a yogi, Sukha Maharshi. Sukha is the son of Vyasa. Vyasa himself is a great scholar himself. So Sukha is son of him. And Sukha has learned a lot of things, and then he asks father all the questions, hard questions. Sir, I have understood everything, I read all things, but these are my questions. So he gives him a few. And then his father tells him, yeah, that's good. So this is how he answers all the questions, but he's not happy with it. Still not happy. So, but sir, I'm not seeing that. You're telling me, I know, but I don't see it. So, okay. And one day he says, okay, why don't you go to Janaka? He can clarify you much better than me. So he goes to Janaka. And Janaka also tells the same stories. Exactly what father said. So now he understood. That's what his confirmation means. So now he understood that, I think this is all that there is to it. This is all there is to it. You have to understand that. So then, as sitting there with Janaka, he also makes a comment, sir, this is all my father already told me. I said, there's nothing more to tell you, anything. So then, even at the suggestion of that, suddenly he goes into trance. He goes into the ultimate truth he has already realized. He becomes he knows now what to do. Then he goes to Himalayas, stays there for 10,000 years according to Shastras. Don't ask me how. He does the tapas there and then comes back as Sukha Maharshi. That's it. So like that, you need a confirmation whenever you do those things. It's not that you read it, you understood it, but if you have get confirmation from somebody else is good. So that confirmation, and that is mumukshutvam. That's what Sukha has become already mumukshu by that. So that's where the second prakaranam starts. Starts with mumukshat. Is the second chapter or second prakaranam, wherein how does the Sthita Prajna, as Bhagavad Gita says, how does he live and how does he become one and all that, and what are the steps he had to follow. Like Shankaracharya says, the 4 steps, right? Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekam, Iha Amutra Falabhoga Viragam, Shatka Sampatti, that means Samadhamadi Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshatvam, 4 stages, steps before you start practicing and understanding the Mumukshatvam. So, don't want to go all the details, but you all know very well. But these 4 are the steps that, so he elaborates on all of them and what is Mumukshatvam and all that. So now you think it's all done, right? You got the Rama question is done, and Mumukshatvam, he knows how to do. It's all done. Then why is the next few stanzas or few prakaranas all coming up? then the Valmiki puts what is called Utpatti Prakaranam, Sthiti Prakaranam, and Upasamana Prakaranam. It is something like Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. These are the prakaranas, huge ones. And after all that, the 6th one, he comes to Nirvana Prakaranam, which I gave you what is it dealt with. In fact, Nirvana Prakaranam perhaps is one of the biggest ones. It's about almost like a third of the whole world. So that is a pure dialogue between Rama and Vasishtha again, from what all that has been said in all these Prakaranas. So the idea is that you may know all of it, but you also have to understand what is this world? I mean, how do we deal with this world? And how did this world come by? And you may say, ultimately, when you realize this is all Vasudeva Sarvamidhi, as the Upanishad says, right? It's all only him and nothing else. So nothing to understand, but for a jnani, not for ordinary person. So we'd like to say how this creation started. So he goes through all the, as if it happened, the creation. So he deals with Utpatti Prakarana, the big one. And this follows also on the same lines as the Upanishads. Taittiriya Upanishad says, you all came from everything. He created first air or vacuum. In the vacuum he created air. Air came to water and then Agni and then the earth and all that, all the Panchamahabhutas, and then they all came as Tanmatras initially and so on. They became what they are by combining each other. So, all those stories about how the creation started. It's a separate issue. So all those ideas again come back in the Utpatti Prakarana, that's what I'm telling you. And in an elaborate way. And it encompasses all those Upanishads. And then it goes to Sthiti Prakarana, wherein, the guidelines for living in this world. And then Upasamana, ultimately. So these are, I don't want to go too far into that. So when you do all those ideas, so then you get thousands of questions. For Rama keeps on asking. He doesn't leave him alone. So asking questions about Utpatti. And then at some point, just giving you a glimpse of it, he asks, question, sir, but you said there is a creation. Now you are telling me, when it goes to the Upasamana Prakarana, there is no such creation. Says, how come you are contradicting yourself? You told me how it's all created so nicely and orderly manner and all that. I understood very well. Now you are telling me there is no creation. So yes, I told you all that because unless you understand it, you can't say negate it. You got to negate it ultimately. As Shankaracharya says, follow the path of neti, neti, and then you get the unknown. Visualize yourself. So anyway, I'll stop there. Almost my time is up, right? So let's say in short an introduction for YogaVaasistam. It's in 6 prakarnas and about 32,000 slokas. But the language is as beautiful as Ramayana. Exactly in the same way it flows. So you and I could read all the slokas, but don't ask me whether I understood anything in them. I have not understood anything. But just now that he has asked, and I have to thank my wife who is sick. Her sickness caused me to read all these books, I tell you honestly. Because I didn't have any work to do, but I had to be in the house initially. So I was sitting and taking off the old books and dusting them off and reading one by one for 3-4 hours a day. At 1 or 2 times when I'm reading, Chandrasekhar comes from Maladi and says, and then he listens and says, oh no, you should tell all about this. I said, okay. Anyway, that's for the lighter side. Thank you all very much for your attention, really. I really want to take away your time.
Thank you.